There are thousands of DOS games. Most of them are terrible. I play one selected at random with a 20-minute time limit and record it live. This is the result. Hello everyone, welcome back to the new Random DOS Game Show. And this week we are met with a prompt telling us press any key to continue. And so I shall. And we have Odium Entertainment. They have provided us with City Beneath the Surface. Now, normally I would click on show intro here, but when I tried this off camera to see if the game ran properly, about partway through, the game seemed to run into a snag and I had to force close, essentially. So I'm just going to proceed and give you the Cliff Notes version of what happened based on what I gathered. There's this fantasy kingdom that was apparently invaded by a whole bunch of murderous orcs, and an alliance of humans, elves, and dwarves joined forces and eventually turned the tide, and a couple of the orcs decided to join them for good measure, and they ended up winning. And so a couple years after the war is over and peace has returned to the kingdom, but one night, this sinister-looking portal opened, and some mysterious monsters snuck in during the night and essentially killed all of the most powerful warriors and mages. I guess the concept of having a night watch is foreign to this kingdom, but without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and load the game now that we're up to speed on the story. I do admit it's kind of hard to read the choice of font and color here, but I am willing to cut this game some slack, and that's because Odium Entertainment was essentially just a group of teenagers, I guess, that decided to just get together and make a game. And to be fair, that's exactly what they did. Now, it took them a while. You can actually still check out their website on the Wayback Machine. It started all the way back in 1994, but the game didn't actually release until 1998. So that's a pretty long time during the DOS game era to develop a game. But they were just teenagers, presumably amateurs when they had started out. And hey, they at least made a finished product, which is more than can be said for the vast majority of scenarios where a random group of teenagers decides to get together and make a game. Usually doesn't even get past the ideas phase. So kudos to them. But one neat feature about this game is that if you hit load like I did, you can just start right in with a pre-made party. You don't have to go through the party creation process. So as you can probably surmise by this, this is a Blobber, and essentially a dungeon crawler Blobber game. It's rather minimalist as far as presentation is concerned, but considering that, like I said, seems like the work of a group of amateur teenagers getting together, you know, I'm willing to cut them some slack for this, but our master is our god, is what this inscribing on the wall says, I guess. So I guess we'll explore. There's an enemy. How do I fight? Well, that's not how you fight. Do I hit enter? Shorts now. Oh, you just right click. Okay. And looks like this orc is dual wielding. Ooh. Wow, that was bloodier than I thought it was going to be. All right, so there's quite the spectacle going on here. I'm just having them attack as soon as the option presents itself. Well, I hit him. These are goblins, I assume. Ooh, that party member took a nasty hit. And is the enemy retreating? Are they running off? Is that what's going on? Quite possibly. Is this, okay, so this was a throwing dagger. That's what's going on. At first I thought this orc was dual wielding swords or something. Man, you just sliced them right down the center there, don't you? All right, I think, though, this party member's in bad shape. Do we have any spells? Energy Blast, Haste, what about you? Are you the only spellcaster in this party? Looks like you might be. Oh, nice. They have an auto map feature. So that's nice. So the prospect of getting lost isn't as big of an issue, possibly, in this than some other blobbers out there. Well, I don't know if we have any, do we have any healing items or anything like that? Here's the orc fighter Gutsga. Seems like he's got decent stats. Okay. What about this guy? That's Gutsga again. And how do I select? Oh, there we go. This is the arrow keys. Naylorn, an elf mage. Furtek, human fighter. And Garduk, orc thief. So we got 2 orcs, an elf, and a human that have joined forces. But yeah, looks like Naylorn is our only spellcaster, and he doesn't have any healing. So that's unfortunate. We might end up losing him over the course of this. Can you move with the map on? No, looks like you can't. That's a little unfortunate. Would have been nice if that could be included as maybe a quality of life deal or something, but okay, and just pressing M is a hotkey to bring up the map. So, okay. Well, it seems like a fair amount of thought was put into this dungeon crawler. Let's see. How do I turn around though? There's got to be a way to turn around, right? Right now I'm just facing south constantly. Hmm. And you move with the either the arrow keys or the numpad keys. Either way works. I guess we'll just proceed on as best we can. Now we can't see where we're going. Uh-oh, I think we're under attack. That didn't sound good. Hello? Yeah, there you are. Alright, well first we gotta fight off this goblin. I'm pretty sure this is a goblin. And hopefully we don't lose anybody in the fight. Boom. Alright, there we go. I'm willing to bet that the sound effect and voice acting is just them recording the devs recording themselves on just a basic microphone. Let's see. Is this the exit? Possibly. Can we go through? How about the keys? Can we use the keys to... Oh, these are lock picks. Okay. Can you pick the lock? Well, you're a spellcaster, so maybe that's not the way for you. You're a thief, if I remember correctly, so can you do anything with this? I don't know. Let's try camp. Okay, here we go. Looks like we'll be able to rest, and hopefully that'll heal up. It is too dangerous to rest here. Okay, never mind. All right. I suppose I could try exploring the rest of the dungeon as best I can. I wish I knew how to turn around. Oh, well, that's not how to do it. Time to do the old tried and true method of trying all the keys on the keyboard and see what works. Oh, wait. I think I figured it out. Okay. That makes sense. So it's the 7 and 9 keys on the numpad. So you probably just want to move and navigate via the numpad, really. Because while you can use the arrow keys, it's probably better just to stick with the numpad just so you can turn around easily. So let's continue exploring. What is this? Can I pick it up? Stone taken. Well, I can. And it looks like you can equip... Is it a throwable object? Can you throw rocks at enemies? If I had a halfling party member, which is one of the races that you can pick for your party if you decide to create your own. If it's inspired by Tolkien, they're probably pretty deadly with thrown rocks. But let's see. Okay, so I'm kind of heading back towards the beginning, but there is that section up there that I haven't explored. So let's just go ahead and hurry on over there. Am I close? Yes. Whoop. I saw another enemy. All right. Get ready, lads. I'm trying to click the rock or stone, but it doesn't seem to do anything. So maybe you can't use it as a throwable object. Well, I gotta say that the elf mage, even though he doesn't do much damage, he seems to be pretty accurate with the combat log there. And it does seem like the enemy does try to flee, possibly if they're low on health. So that's an interesting mechanic. You don't often you don't often see that with these kind of entry level flagship titles for a hopeful group of teenagers. So they may have known their stuff coding wise, possibly. And what do we got here? It's some kind of I don't know the names of my fantasy creatures all that well. It's, you know, it's obviously not a minotaur because that's part bull, part man, but this is like a part lion, part man. He's probably tougher than the goblins we've been fighting so far too. So, oh, there we go. Yeah, we took him out, and I'm not sure if this is the same goblin or a different one. But, ooh, he's got some good hits on our orc thief. Hopefully we can take him out before he takes us out. Oh man, our elf caster's almost dead. I might have to... Oh, hello. Somebody behind us? Oh, someone's behind us. Oh. Sneaky little bugger. Oh, and now the other one's back. Okay. I'm down to 3 party members. That's unfortunate. Okay. Well, let's try resting, and nope, it says it's still too dangerous. So I don't know if you have to get a certain distance from an enemy, or if you have to completely clear a dungeon of enemies first or something, but let's see. Let's just try... Let's try heading back to, like, maybe where we started from. Oh, hello. This is not where we started from. Or if it is, an enemy's wandered into the area. Alright, fine. We'll go ahead and try to get you too. Come here, you. There we go. Took him out. Now can we rest? It's too dangerous to rest here. Ah, come on, game. It looks like the map is, like, revealing new areas, though, so maybe we haven't been here before. I feel like this is where we started, though, because our master is our god. This is that inscription that we saw when we started. I think it's just the enemies just wander hither and yon throughout the dungeon, and so areas that may have been clear before may not be anymore. Who knows? The game might even populate new enemies to replace old ones, so there might be an incentive to be as efficient as possible with clearing out a dungeon. It's kind of hard to say at this early stage, and I'm thinking we might not get far enough to really find out much more, especially if my party members keep getting damage like this. Attrition's gonna wear us down. Let's try to rest again. Nope, still too dangerous, and I think, yeah, we're being attacked again. Man, it's full of goblins. Oh boy. Oh no, and here comes a second one. Oh boy. There's a ton of goblins in here. Okay, took him out. And There we go. Please let me rest. Too dangerous. Oh, jeez. Oh, yep, and here comes another one. Man. Well, that one went down easy. Oh, but here comes another one of those. Oh, boy. This may be the end. Come on. RNG, don't fail me now. Come on. Oh, man. And another goblin. Okay. Game, are you gonna let me rest? It's too dangerous. Nope. Okay. All right. Well, I think I might end up calling it here because I'm not sure how much longer this is going to continue, and I'm already more than halfway through the timer. But yeah, as I suspected, I don't really think I got far enough to really make a definitive call on this game, but I'll still meet you folks back on the main menu and I'll give you my thoughts. So that's City Beneath the Surface, a dungeon crawling blobber. And one thing I neglected to mention at the start is this is the freeware version. It was originally shareware, and apparently there was a CD-ROM version that players could obtain via mail order that included music. But I couldn't find a download for that version anywhere online, so this is what I have to work with for this episode. But hey, kudos to the developers for making it freeware after the fact. I believe it was in 2003. But anyway, I'd say that this game has the potential to be a decent dungeon crawler based off of my initial impressions here. Unfortunately, though, I would say this game would have been the victim of bad timing, I would imagine, when it came out in 1998. Because at that point, most people had moved on from DOS games, and the focus was on Windows 95 and 98 PC games. And also, too, 1998 was a pretty watershed year for PC game releases, with titles like Half-Life, StarCraft, and Baldur's Gate, to name just a few. So I can't imagine there were many people out there who were waiting with bated breath for this game to be released. But you know, with the benefit of hindsight and considering the circumstances behind this game's development, yeah, I'd say that if you're a fan of dungeon crawlers and blobbers, then you might want to try this game out and give it a whirl. The difficulty might be a bit steep by modern standards, but when the game started development in 1994, it was kind of par for the course for games like these. So if you go in with more of a 1994 mindset, then you might find some enjoyment from this title. And if you want to see more random DOS game coverage, be sure to check out the other videos on the channel, as well as Lonnie's original run in our playlists. And if you like what you see, consider subscribing. That's all for now, and until next time, take care everyone.